requested Nuages by Django Reinhardt in chord melody style so often, I sat down and arranged it. But I wasn't satisfied. It was way too difficult for most intermediate players. So I tried again and again and again, and here is the result I'm really happy with. Hi my dear Gypsy jazz aficionados around the world, Sandra, Sherman, greetings from Austria. I came up with a playable yet interesting solo arrangement of Nuages. Chord substitutions will fill the long gaps between the melody, and I'll explain that in theory a bit too where necessary. I'll show everything note for note, slow and easy. I've made tabs in the backing track, and the tabs include standard music notation, of course, and you can download all this from one of the links down below in the description box. Please read the short download instructions so you know what to do right next to these links. All right, let's get Nuages under our fingers. We are in the key of G major, and we have two sections, an A and a B section, and they are both 16 bars long, so we have a total of 32 bars. Let's get started. All right, here's the first phrase. These are the first 4 bars. They are being repeated twice, by the way, so we already have the first 8 bars. And we start with the pickup bar before bar 1. And this starts on the D flat, 6th string of the G string. I go over to the 7th with my index, so I can fret with my pinky on the 10th of the B string. A flat with the middle finger. That's my recommendation, because now we have a trill going on between the 8th and 9th of the B string. So that's a hammer and a pull off, so I don't hit the string again. Just once, and I go over to the 7th. And now it's the first measure, the first bar, B flat minor 6. That's the 6th, here's the root, 5 of D, 6 of G and B. You need to mute the A string, dampen it by touching the A string ever so slightly. And also the E string. And then kind of strum through it like this. Don't go like this, but it's a ballad. All right. Then I fill in the gap with just a little picking. I play the bass again, the D string again, and the G string again. Then we change over to the E flat 9, and all we have to do is move our middle finger to the A string 6th fret. Right, and now we have the inner 4 strings, E flat 9. E flat 7 flat 9. Remove your pinky and bar the index finger. So what you get is E flat 7 flat 9. That's 6 5 6 5 by barring of the inner four strings. Don't play the E string, all right? So next is an A half diminished. So that's 5 of the E string. The A string is being muted by the middle finger that touches, that plays the 5th of the D, 5 of G, 4 of B. You can play it like this, of course, but mute the A string. All right? So that's an A half diminished. Then I fill the gap by playing those 4 strings in consecutive order quickly. Those are 16th notes. So 1 strum plus. We go over to its 5 chord, the D7 flat 9. That's 5 4 5 4, the same as the E flat we just had, 1 fret lower. Inner 4 strings, 4 5 4 5, 3 4, and we are on the D. That's the 3rd of the B string. And then the G6 9 resolution follows. This resolves everything. That's the G here on the 3rd of the E. We mute the A string by touching it. 2nd, 2nd, and 3rd follows. 3 2 2 3. And this would remain for almost 2 bars. So what I do is I fill it with, I went for an upwards movement, a diatonical upwards movement. That means I stay within the G major scale, with the exception for 1 chord. And that's the next chord. That's a G sharp diminished chord. That's just a passing chord. Actually has a function too. It functions as an E altered. So here is the G sharp on the 4th. My strings are buzzy. That's because the weather changed here and now everything moved up. All right, 4, 3 of the D string, 4 of the G, and 3 by barring over to the D. That's the 3rd of the B string. A minor is the 2nd degree now of the G major scale. A minor 11. I want to remain that D melody tone on top. 5 5 5 3. And B minor 7, I could have gone up here, but I wanted more notes, plus the D on top, so I went for this voicing. 2 of the A, 4, 2, 3, inner 4 strings only. This is the melody note, not this. All right, so here's that upwards movement. Resolution, G, what is this? G6 actually. That's a typical gypsy chord. I don't play the root here. You could play it with your thumb, okay? 5 of A, 5 of D, 4 of G, and the 5th of the B string. So that's the resolution. Then you repeat everything. And I'll play the whole thing for you now, okay? 1. Here's phrase 2. This is my personal favorite part of the entire song. After you've repeated it the 2nd time, here's the resolution. We start with a different pickup, going to the 3rd down here of the G string. The 4th, stretch over to the E string 7, 5, triller 3 to 5, that means a hammer and a pull-off. The 2nd, and it's an up pick. Oops. And the 5, and that's already the part, a tone of the chord. That's gonna be a B7 here, okay? I start with this, and the rest follows of that B7 chord. 4 of D, G, and B in consecutive order. Let everything ring into each other. B7, then an F sharp half diminished. That's it. It's 2 chord actually. 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5 by barring. Then the tritone substitute of the B7 is F7. Here it is. Here is the F on the third. 5, 4, 5. And a B7 sharp flat 9, which is the same as an F sharp diminished. I only have to move my index finger to the 4th fret to get a diminished chord. 4, 5, 4, 5. All right, so everything up until here. Now I go back to that third for the pickup, next pickup. 4, 7, 5. Now I don't go to this G, but I take this G on the 8 of the B string, the 7. And what follows is an E minor 7 here. I start with the G alone, so I go, let this ring and let the rest of the chord follow and ring into each other. 7 of A, 5 of D, and 7 of G. Right? From the pickup. Then a B7 sharp 5. That's the 5 chord of the E minor. Here's the B. 7, 7, 8, 8. Dampen the A string again. Then it's tritone substitute, and here we see perfectly well how tritone substitutes work. We exchange, that's all we have to do, the root of the B chord to the tritone above. This is a tritone, one to the right on the next string. And if we do that, what we get is an F9 chord. I rearrange my fingers. Here's the F9 chord, 8, 7, 8, 8 in a 4 strings. Basically the same thing, a different bass line and a little more interesting. And back to the E minor 7 by pulling these 3 to the left. This one remains here. 7, 5, 7, 8. We had this before. All right, and here is phrase 2 for you at slow tempo. And here's phrase 3, the next 4 bars. We have a different pickup now. After that E minor 7, we go to the 7th of the B string. 7, 8, 7 of E, 10 of B. Then a trill, a whole tone trill that goes from 8 to the 10th. So I changed my fingers here. I would never play a trill like this. I can't even do that properly. You can if you train it, but it's not necessary. Index to ring finger, 8 to 10th fret. And then I go to the 7 and I play it upwards. That's always, you have to learn, if you want to go into gypsy jazz, you have to learn that movement. And then we go to an A7 chord, A in bass, 5th. Then the A string is being muted. Then 5 of D, 6 of G, and 5 of B. Then an A9 chord, which is the same as a C sharp half diminished. I played it arpeggiated, 4 of A, 5, 4, 5 in a 4 strings. So from here. Then A flat 7, which could be a tritone substitute, could be seen as a tritone substitute for D. That's the same thing, a semitone down. 4, 4, 5, 4. A string's being muted again. Then that same 9 chord, but a half step lower, 3, 4, 3, 4. Right, so the whole A to A flat thing. And back to A9, which means half a semitone up. A semitone, not half a semitone. All right, and next pickup follows, 9th fret of the G string, 11, 12, 10 of B, and now a triplet on the 12th of the B, 10th of the E, and 13th of the E. That's really bluesy. I would bend that, but usually there's too little time to do that. Because next we have the D13 actually. That's a bar chord on the upper 4 strings, 10, 11, 12, and 10 by barring. And the whole bar is D7 something. So D13 here. Then I play a 2-5, A minor to D7. You can always do that within a bar to have more chords, all right? A 2, you can always put a 2 in front of a 5. So the 2 for the D is A minor. 12 of A, 10 and 12 of D. Then I take the tritone substitute of D7. Here would be the D7, and here's its tritone substitute, A flat 7. We had A flat down here for D, now we have it up here. 11 of A, 10 of D, and 11 of G. Just those three. These three, sorry. Where are we? Yeah, here. All you need to do from A minor 7 to A flat 7 is move your these two fingers. Then I play the original chord, the D7, by rearranging these fingers. 10, 10 of D, 11 of G. What did I say? That was wrong. 10 of E, 10 of D, and 11 of G. And finally, last to finally, D7 flat 9. That's a diminished chord again. Here would be the root. This is the 7th. So 10, 11, 10, 11. And finally the D13 we had in the beginning again. 10, 11, 12, 10. Right? And this one you can play a little snappier because we want to rest, a stop, and then everything starts from the beginning again. All right, here's phrase number 3 at slow tempo for you. 3, 4, 1. Welcome to the B section, and these are 8 bars because the first 4 bars are identical or almost identical. I played a little variation. We start with the pickup again, 6, 7, 10, 9, 8, 9, trill, 7, B flat 6, minor 6, E flat 9. But now I play the upper string again, E flat 7, flat 9, upper string again. That's the only difference. A half diminished, D7 flat 9 to D, and then the upwards movement, G6 9, G sharp diminished, A minor 11 and B minor 7 to the G6. That's absolutely the same as the first phrase, with the exception for those E flat chords being played twice. All right, next we have a different pickup. 7, 8, 10 of E, 9, trill 8 to 9, 7. And now we go to the E flat minor 7, and that's a nice thing for a change, and it's nothing else but a tritone substitute. We go from E flat to A flat, and that's the tritone substitute for A to D7 that resolves to G7 or G9 afterwards. So 11 of the E string, 11D, 11G, and 11B. Then I fill that bar by playing the E string again, D, G, and B in triplets. 1 and triple that. Then I go to the A flat 9 by just moving everything down and my index in between. We get 11A, 10, 11, 11 in a 4 strings. Then A flat 7, flat 9, because of the melody. 11, 10, 11, 10 by barring. Right? You go from here to here. It's hard to see, I know. That's why you need to get my tabs. And down to the resolution G9. I move everything down, plus I add that pinky or I bar over it, whatever you like, whatever you prefer. 10, 9, 10, 10 in a 4 strings. Then I fill the gap by playing the A, D, and G string again. Now I added 2, 5 to make it more interesting. D half diminished, same as the A we had before. 10, 10 of D, 10 of G, 9 of B. Don't play the A string. We never play the A string when we have a jazz chord starting from the E string, okay? That's a rule. Otherwise it would be too muddy. G7 flat 9, it's 5 chord. We had it before, 10, 9, 10, 9. Then I play the 8th fret of the B string. Don't just move there, because, I mean, you can do it, but it's better to play it with your ring finger, because now you can play the resolution, the C6, 9, accordingly. That's 8 of E, 7, 7, 8. Right? Let me repeat that for you from the pickup. Now I fill the gap, E, D, G, E, D, G strings. A flat 9, that stands, we've learned that already for the D7, and it leads to the G, so it's a tritone substitute for D7. That's an A flat 9 actually. 11, 10, 11, 11. I play it twice. Now this is some strumming I put in chords to make up for the long gap in the melody. G9, 1 to the left, and resolution C6, 9, 8, 7, 7, 8. So, all right, here's the entire phrase number 4. It's low tempo, all 8 bars. 3, 4, 1. Congrats, you made it to the last phrase already. We have a key change now. We start on the 11th fret of the G string, going to the 12th, 15 of E, 13, 11, 13, C minor now instead of C major. That's C minor 9, 13, 15, 15, 15. To its 5 chord, that's the G7. 10, 9, 10, 8 of the inner 4 strings. Then it's tritone substitute F sharp minor 9. That's 9, 7, 9, 9 inner 4 strings. It's 5 chord actually, the B13. That's 7, 7 of D, 8 and 9, yes. And then going to the F9. That's 8, 7, 8, 8 inner 4 strings. And that's how it sounds. Then I repeat that same pickup. Now going to G major, or G6, 9 actually. Here's the root. Here is also a root. 14, 14, 15, 15. Double bar. Then I play that same chord but on the lower in the lower register. That's 3, 2 of D, G, and 3 of B. We had this before. the upwards movement, but this time I'm already on count 2, so I can't play there's actually no need to play the G sharp diminished, so I directly go to A minor 11, 5, 5, 5, 3, we had this, and the D7, that's 5, 4, 5, 3. That's a 2, 5, resolving back to G6, 9, 3, 2, 2, 3. Then I have the beginning, the initial pickup again, 6, 7, 10, 9, 8, 9, 7, B flat minor 6, and this time I repeat the B string thrice, 3 times, just for fun, to make it more interesting. Oops. E flat 9, E flat 7 flat 9, like in the beginning. Going down to D7 flat 9, 5, 4, 5, 4, 1 to the left, 1, 2, 7 of G, 7 of E, and the final chord is a G6. That's 10, 9, 9, 8. Alright, and here is the final phrase, phrase number 5 at slow tempo. 3, 4, 1. Make sure to check out my Gypsy Jazz Lessons playlist here on YouTube. Maybe you also like jazz ballads in chord melody arrangement. I have so many here up on my YouTube channel. Check it out. Please give this video a fat thumbs up if you like it. Please share the love and the knowledge and subscribe my channel. I hope to see you next week. Servus, Baba.